shift way all the way.
Last right here.
Across here, bam. Wrap the head, knee, lunge him off. Coming all across the body, sweep, stomp. Let me get my setup for you.
All right, we're gonna do long form 6 now. We're gonna start it off, since it's a black belt form, instead of starting low like we usually do with our fingers down here, we're gonna start with our hand up here, and as we do, we're gonna have 5 long fingers on the right, with 1 makes 6, 6 on the left. That means we're gonna do long form 6 on the right side and on the left side. And we stop out, and we go into our salutation. Now watch as we melt it down here. Instead of going up and clawing like we usually do, we're gonna make circles and have the hands butt up together and press down. So we're here to there. We're going to step back to 6 o'clock, and as we do, we're going to loop our hands up in this position, and we're going to do glancing lance. And brush the hands off at that point. Then we do glancing lance again on the opposite side. Okay, now let's look at that again. Glancing lance on this side. Notice how the hands loop up and make a catch. As a self-defense technique, we usually block. Well, I'm not going to go into too much description on the techniques. We'll just go through the form. Loop it up, kick, poke, and no sooner do we land. Claw. From here, we're simply going to go back into a cat and do Chinese fan. Elbow, claw, back knuckle, and at this point, cat up. Hammer, rip, chop, set down to 3 o'clock. 12, 3, 6, and 9. We're going to set down at 3 o'clock. Now we're going to turn to 9 o'clock and do Chinese fan on the opposite side. Claw, cat up, chop, set down. Now from here we're going to go, and we're going to take my right foot and I'm going to step off to 7:30. And as I do, I'm going to do a chop and pivot, and I'm going to do clipping the storm at an angle to 130. Now I'm going to step off at an angle, block, chop, and do clipping the storm at this angle, which is 1030. Chop, chop, spear, chop, palm heel. Okay, so we ended in Chinese fan over here. Boom, set down, okay? To there. You in here? To there. Now we're going to go into thrusting lance. Okay? Now from here we're going to do a transitional move. From our palm heel, we're going to go inward block, and no sooner we do that, we're going to step back, hammer down, and do thrusting lance. Claw up, and as we pull him back, boom. Okay? So let's do that again. Clipping the storm, transition, hammer, claw, and go back into a cat. Chicken kick, 1, 2. Stiff back knuckle, downward, hammer, back knuckle. Okay, let's look at that again. We do our transition, hammer, claw, back up, chicken kick. And then hammer, and do thrusting lance on the left side to 12 o'clock. Cat up, chicken kick. And no sooner do we come down here, we're going to step off to 9 o'clock, circle our hands around, and we're going to start to do raining lance on our left side to 9 o'clock. So as we get to here, elbow up. Raining lance, opposite side, 3 o'clock. So it looks like this again. We're here. Claw. Hammer. Okay. Come up. And no sooner just come here. 1. Raining lance, opposite side. Raining lance. Now we're going to do circling the storm. Or no, I'm sorry, capturing the storm. What we do after we finish raining lance here, we're going to come over, do a rising cross block. Follow through, strike the knee, head sweep, chop, step with the right foot to 6 o'clock into a neutral hold, and then do it on the opposite side. Step through, pull, and break. 1, 2, chop. Now as we chop and do our looping punch here, we're going to step forward, and we're going to do circling the storm to 12 o'clock on the left side. Elbow, elbow. Hot switch, kick, poke. Step forward into 6 o'clock and do it on the opposite side, circling the storm again. 1, 2. Now you see from this side, we're going to hop switch, side kick, crane hand. Hook the eye, hit the kidney. Sweep the leg and claw the groin. Okay? Did you get all that? Okay, where were we? We're raining lance, capturing the storm. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There. Okay. Then again. Here. Boom. Step forward. Come out. 1, 2. Hop switch kick. Chop. Here. Step forward. Boom. Circling the storm. Hop switch. Side kick. Grab the groin with crane hand. Hook. Sweep to there. Now at this point, we're going to do escaping from the storm. We're going to hook the leg behind, hop off into a crane. And as we go into our crane stance, we're going to do an inward parry. Parry, block. Strike, 1, pull. Claw. Now we're going to unwind. Let's go back to that one again. We were here. Claw, okay? Hook. Pull him up. Push the leg off, claw. Here. Now we're going to do the opposite side. Hook, hop, parry, palm heel. Boom. Okay? Escaping the storm on the opposite side. Push it off. Unwind, claw. Hook, claw here. Okay? Now we're going to do glancing lance to the front. We're going to step, twist stance, and as we do, we're going to parry past. We're going to palm, poke and sweep, side kick, back fist as you set down. So you were here, claw, unwind. Boom. Notice how I settled down on my one. Opposite side. Boom, right there. Now we're going to do, what's the name? Capturing the Rod. I forget the names. So now from here, we're going to step to 3 o'clock and do capturing rod on the right side. Parry as we step, loop and grab, spear finger to the eyes. That's that again. Front punch here, and as soon as we do our stiff arm, as soon as we do that, we turn and do it to 9 o'clock on the left side. Parry, loop, grab, poke, kick, strike up. Okay? Go ahead and turn off for a second, Ray. Good, guys. Take it again now from inclined lance. We just finished over here. Step over, block, boom. Step around, poke, kick, back knuckle, capturing the rod. 2, 3 o'clock on the left side. Notice my left side's forward. Punch, no sooner do we get there. Loop it around 1, 2, spear. Notice my hands are in the shape of a diamond. That implies a wrist lock. Front kick, punch. No sooner do I get here, but I'm going to turn. And notice how I turn. This is the one place in the Kenpo system. Whenever we pivot in Kenpo, we always pivot on the balls of our feet. But you're going to find when we do this technique, we want to turn faster. So I'm going to pivot on the right heel and the left ball. And the reason why is because that throws me into the action. Okay? So I'm going to turn this way and I'm going to do broken rod. And as I turn, I'm going to do a block, chamber the hand. And I'm going to step off to 430 on my left side. Break the arm, hammer the groin, pull, punch, hammer. Now, no sooner do I hammer here, but I'm going to also start to pivot again on this side. Heel and toe. Pivot, break, strike. 1, 2. Now I'm going to do it in this direction so you can see what I did. Okay? Turn, we're going to pivot, capture the arm. Break, break up, hammer, Now notice how this hand drops. Strike, and no sooner do I get here, I start to go this way now. Boom, okay. Forward bow, pivot, hammer. Okay, let's get back into the form now. We were here, turn, broken rod, strike, and continue around. And notice how those hands crossed. 1, 2, pull it, 1, 2. And right when I get to the end of this movement here, I'm going to turn and go answer the phone. And then we're going to turn, and we're going to do this simultaneously. Extended outward block, poke. We're going to do Defying the Storm. And Defying the Storm is going to be done on our left side to 130. Poke, kick, drop in the crane. Elbow, peel it off, brush it, hammer knee, palm down. Okay? After this, we're going to step around and do it on the opposite side. Poke, crane, peel it off, brush the hand, hammer, poke, bam, palm heel down. Now, from this point, I'm going to do twisting the rod, and I'm going to step off to 430 in a left rear crossover. And as I do, step down, I'm going to come over here. This hand is going to go just like I'm doing a poke, and then I'm going to step out to 3 o'clock and reach up under. Step 2, 2 o'clock twist, pull the hands over and chamber them on your side as you go into a forward bow. Okay, now let's look at that again. We're here, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chamber this hand as we scoop kick, shovel kick I mean, shovel, stomp, and poke down. Okay? Poke down here, and now we step back and do it on the opposite side to 730. Rear crossover, neutral bow or forward bow, either one. Twist, forward bow, chamber, shovel kick, stomp, spear, and close kneel. Now let's look at that whole thing again. Let's take it from Defying the Rod. We were here, we did broken rod to here. We turn, boom, right there. Turn, poke, 1, 2, 1, 2, hammer, here, here, go into twisting the rod. Poke. 1, 2, shovel, stomp, poke. Now, twist back to 6, go into a horse. The hands are going to circle, up. And I'll show you that ending again. As we go over here, we end, twist the rod, cross, horse. The hands loop down and circle up. This hand makes a looping grab, palm heel, crane hand, palm heel, loop them both up, right palm heel, and then crane. These hands peel off of one another, peel off, step out. And this last part, people always ask me, well, gee, what does that mean? Remember when we started the form, we did glancing lance? We were here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's nothing more than that movement. 1, 2. Where we've struck here, there's that first movement. We blocked the arm. And then we poke. And here's that next movement, crane palm. That's all it is. Grab up, crane palm. You see, it's just the beginning at the end. Come up, push it down. All right, that's it. Well, let's put it all together and see what we come up with. Okay, so he's signature at right, left. I'll take it slow, so we don't, get you caught up too much. You'll be able to follow along. Down here. Here. Chop. Okay? Side kick fall. that hand through, like this. Lock it up. Alright, there it is.
You need to defend against the lady first.
Ladies first. Well, I usually don't mess with the ladies because I like to wake up with my penis in the morning.
You guys don't have
I
that
don't
on
want to wake
tape,
up
do
with
you?
anything missing in the morning, you know what I'm saying? I'll leave the ladies alone. I don't think another man could do that to another man. Only a woman could do that to a man.
Get away with it.
Okay.
Yeah, get away with it.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
We're going to do glancing lance right now, which is the first technique. What it is, the guy stabs to the stomach. What we're going to do in the form, you'll notice, we step back, and as the knife comes in, we do this looping motion. But in reality, let's do it kind of this angle, Hans, so your camera will catch it. What we really want to do is as the knife comes in, we want to start the palm up here before we go in, pull and break the elbow at this point. Now, if you hit the guy's elbow real hard, look what happens. He starts to go up in his height zone, and we're trying to break the arm to lose the knife. Now, watch this. Look at how his groin started to come forward as I did that. As I hit the palm heel, we kick to the groin, set down and poke to the eye, and then we scoop off here. And I use that crane hand to make sure that knife stays away from me as I do a palm heel and bring my leg up. Now what I'm going to do is from this point here, I'm going to drive him down with a side kick, but this doesn't take him all the way down. This puts him right here. But as he starts to bend over, then I let my claw come up and wrench. You'll see, now see what I did? I wrenched in his neck here. Now from there, I pull and I do a mastoid, strike to the mastoid with this middle finger fist and then elbow into the head. Now some people will do it like this. Where'd our knife go? Some people, oh, okay. Some people will do this. Every block, we go 1, 2, we get it over here, we break the elbow, strike, poke, hook off. Some people like to do this. They like to try to claw at the same time and then hit with this part here. I disagree. I think as you kick him, it bends him forward, and then you can get a hold and wrench the neck at this point. So you want to start that claw, you want to kick and start the claw as you push down, and then this will pull him into the mastoid, into the elbow. Because once I've seen people do this, they'll try first of all, his head is too far away. If I'm here, 1 to here, he's too far away to really claw at this point. So what I want to do is get him going down and then catch him as he falls, circle around, then hit him. Just a little different from what other people do. Let's do this next technique from this angle. Chinese fan. Yeah, we'll use the knife. What happens on this one, as the knife, huh?
From Chinese fan, what technique developed?
I can't find it in the 154 base techniques. It's just part of the old system when I originally learned it. It looks a little bit like unfurling crane.
Okay.
What happens is the knife comes in, and I'm going to step off, 1, 2. Now notice how I cup and cradle the knife in my hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into cat, and then I'm going to pull the arm, and as I do, I'm going to strike into the bicep. Bam! That releases the arm, because that nerve sends a message up to, see how it makes it opens the hand. So that sends a message up to the hand to drop the knife, and then from that point, I simply do a front kick, okay? So let's do it without the knife. I'll just do this first. 1, 2, front kick. Front kick, I'm sorry. Kick first and then hit here. Once you hit here, you're going to come in and elbow. Some people do the elbow this way, but I say continue the circle in the inward elbow. Claw, back knuckle, cat up, hammer down. Hammering down here will make his face come forward. Rip up with that into the throat. Claw, chop, scoop, and then chop, kick again. Notice how I went to the opposite leg.
Yes.
And it's nothing more than this here. That releases the knife. Elbow in, claw, back knuckle, boom, boom, boom. Chinese fan. Right side of 3, left side there. Clipping the storm. Now the word storm is here, so this is actually a club strike.
Right.
What happens is, he's going to do like this with a club. Bam! He's going to try to jab me with that club in the stomach. Now let's do it from this angle. Originally, clipping the storm is done like this. Stepping off, chop. 1, 2, go to the bicep. Then you go chop, come around, and heel palm, right?
Right.
But in the form, it's more a transition. You do this chop here first. So the transition would be like almost like a side attack. 1, 2. Now at this point, we use the forward bow to chop. Now we don't go ahead and step. What we do is we chop again, then we keep it at bay. We finger poke to the eye, then we chop and palm heel strike. So it looks like this in the form. 1, will be a knife attack. A lance is a knife. Let's do it from this angle, Hans. What happens in thrusting lance is the knife is coming in, bam, and you do the hammer fist strike here. But let's say I hit it hard enough, he would drop it. But what if he didn't drop it? So I want to cradle up as I go to the groin with a claw. I wouldn't do this in real life, to be honest with you. You claw to the groin. You come back after you claw, you come back up and apply your wrist lock, taking him over here. Okay, come back up a second, Hans. So let's look at it again. We step off, break, claw, cradle. Notice how I'm cradling up against my body. Come over, apply our wrist lock, and then we're going to do a chicken kick, front kick, front kick. We're going to set down, come up with a back knuckle, hammer, hammer, back knuckle. Okay. Now the way the technique ends is you go like this. You come in an elbow, come over. But I'm going to show you how to do it another way. That's how it's done in the form. So he comes in, he attacks. I strike the arm. I get a hold. I pull him over here. Kick 1, 2. Now what happens is, at this point, 1, 2, I take the knife out, slice his throat, slice his neck, rip it around. Then I'm going to come up again with that hammer fist motion. You go 1, 2. I'm going to slice again across the neck, stab. Okay. Here's another way too. Once you pull it out, stab it, rip up through the throat. Okay. So let's look at that. I take him over, pull the knife, stab him, rip his throat, rip down, pull it over. 1, 2. Now I'm going to poke the arm out of the way this way, and then I'm going to take the knife, buckle him, and bury it right into his chest. Just like that. That's the way you would do the technique in reality. You take the knife away at this point, kick, kick, stab him in the chest, roll it off, slice, slice, flip it over. 1, 2, hook the arm out of the way, buckle him over, stab him in the chest. Now, let's look at the next technique. Raining lance. Okay, raining lance is, this is a downward knife attack. Norman, you behave. Norman Bates is going to get us. What we do is, as we see the knife coming down, we're going to take this hand, like almost like a rising block, but we don't want to catch that and get our arm cut off. So what we do is we take this hand under and simply guide it and let that roll. So it comes over and into his leg. And no sooner does it stab his leg, but we go ahead and elbow him right into the chest. Okay? Let's get over here and stay in the middle of the camera. Elbow him. Now once I elbow him, see how this hand stays down here? The knife should be stuck in his thigh. We take this hand and track down. And as we do, we pop up and then grab the testicles and the eyes. So it looks like this. Comes down. Strike in. 1, 2, 3. Now from here what you do is as the knife is stuck in his leg, you chop him in the throat, which will bring his hand up, right? Bring his hand up as you chop. The knife should still be stuck in his leg. What you really do is you pull the knife out of his leg, crane hand him over, stab him in the chest. Okay? Let's face this way. Let's do it from this angle. So let's do it from this angle so you can see better what we're doing, okay? So we go 1, boom, 1, 2, 3, strike the throat, and as we pull the knife out of his thigh, bring him over and stab him. We'll be in a close kneel. Stab him, grab his throat, and palm heel him, slice his throat again. Okay? That's how, you've seen the technique probably like this, where you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, hammer, fist, palm.
Right.
Stab him, cut his throat as you palm. Okay? That's how you do it in reality. Capturing the storm. We need our club, Hans. This is an interesting technique. Let's do it from just a slight angle, Hans. We'll start it out facing this way. Attack from this way. This side will start out. It's an overhead club attack. We go ahead and help him strike himself in the leg. But as we help him, we step through and pull the arm up and pull the club away. And after we pull, I want to pull his arm and strike across the elbow. You notice how I pulled him into that strike. Then I'm going to hit him 1, 2 across here, but as soon as I hit here, I'm going to do a sweep and catch him in the face. And you can also hit him in the groin. Let's do it, we'll do it from this angle again, that's all right. So it comes 1, 2, strike through, make sure you get a hold of the club, pull him around, pull that arm, so you elongate him, strike the knee 1, 2, and sweep his leg as you hit him here. And then this hand just chops. And it's nothing more than this. We block, strike. 1, 2, 3. Now from here, we continue by striking the leg, striking down again. Because it goes on. All right. What was it? Capturing the storm? Circling the storm. Here's an interesting one. Kind of a weird technique, really. On circling the storm, I remember this is a thrust, isn't it, Henry? It wasn't an overhead, was it?
Circling the storm. Right.
I think it's a club thrust where he comes in.
Right.
But as he does, he comes in thrust. We off step. Go ahead and get, like most people when they're going to thrust with a club, you know, you're doing your technique this way. They spin it over because if you hold it closer here, you get more power in your punch. Because this is a good move. Bam! And then you can hit the guy, you know. Boom, you can hit him this way. So it is a good move, but you wouldn't hold it here because you could glance off and wrench your own wrist. So what happens is he does his movement. When he does, we come in, we're going to do an elbow through the ribs. 1, 2. 2 elbows. Let's do it from this way so you can see better. So as he's coming in, we glance it off. We hit elbow 1, 2. And then we catch this eye as we hop over, side kick, crane hand, and catch the groin. Let's move this way so a little. We're crane, we side kick, it checks the leg, right? We hooked here. We crane hand in the groin. Now I'm going to take up, and I'm going to hook my finger in his eye. And I'm going to anchor it against his own back, and I'm going to do a palm heel strike into the kidney. Boom. Elongate his base by kicking his leg, and then clawing to the groin again. And it's nothing more than this. Lock. 1, 2, hook, side kick, crane hand. Hook the eye, palm the kidney, sweep the leg, claw the groin. And to be honest with you, it continues on from there. There's more.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do the rest of it. That'll be enough. That's in the form. Escaping from the storm. You didn't run out, did you? Okay. Escaping from the storm. Oh, you're going to love this. Ha! Hey, turn the cameras off for a second. Turn them up. Are we rolling? Okay. Now we're going to do escaping the storm. This is derived from brushing the storm. It's the same movement where the club is coming down, right flank, overhead club. What we do is we off-step to 2 o'clock to get off the path of the weapon. And as we do, we brush it and catch him right underneath with that heel palm. We're going to collapse the elbow 1 and heel palm the groin before we come over here and drag up the leg. Okay? Now as we get him here, we're going to go into a twist stance and break his leg across here, push it off with a palm heel. We're going to claw the groin and go into a kick here as we hammer. Then we're going to scoot up and claw again, okay? And, okay, Hans, thanks. I know that was demeaning. So let's look at how it looks. Step off, heel palm from point of origin, collapse the elbow, palm heel to the groin, pull him up, break his leg over your knee, push it off, claw the groin as you unwind, kick to the sternum and hammer to the groin, come in and claw the groin again. Okay, let's take a break to that one. Do entwine lance. It's not a bad technique. What happens is the guy, he does a right step through with a knife. Now his commitment's going to be good and deep. So what we're going to do is as we see the knife come in, we're going to start to glance off with one hand. So we see it coming in, block. See, we block it off there. And we're going to step in and palm heel and control his depth zone by really pushing that palm heel in. Now at this point, after I do the hinge strike there, I'm going to track this arm down and pull him a little bit and poke to his eye as I sweep and elongate his base a little bit. Now notice from there, then I'm going to take and I'm going to do a side kick, boom, and back fist to the rib area. Sound like I give the Porky Pig there. So let's do it again. We off step, 1, 2, bam, palm heel, sweep, boom, and notice how I got my hand. I got his arm checked and cradled. Poke, sweep, side kick, which elongates it, and back fist. Now you could go to the head at that point too. Now, let's go ahead and do the rest of it. That's how it ends in the form. So let's go ahead and do it. We go 1, 2, palm, sweep, poke, back fist. Now from here, this is how the technique ends. Twist stance, hammer fist, and step out. That's how it ends. Let's see your version.
Well, let's see. Okay, when mine's coming in. Okay, wait. Do the first part. Let me catch it.
Okay, you off step.
Right.
And palm there. And look, I got a hold of the knife hand here.
Right.
Sweep poke right there. See?
Okay. So here's bam,
Palm heel.
sweep, poke, come
fist, I'm going to show you something here. What you can do is as he's coming in, block off palm heel as you're stepping in, pop and break his arm at that point, then poke in. You see, he'll lose the knife here if you break his arm, poke, back fist, hammer, hammer, boom. See, that's why we don't do that extra movement, because in reality, there's a lot of hidden movements in Kenpo, and as on our way here, we break, pop, boom. So it should look like this. Did you guys roll? Okay. It should look like this. 1, 2. You can break the arm, poke, pop, boom. Hammer fist, boom. And you'll notice that these hammer fists, boom, that twist stance or crossover lends marriage of gravity to this strike, and then this strike unwinds, and you're out of there. Okay. It's entwined lance. Okay, now we get to the gun techniques. Capturing the rod. Well, this will be interesting. I'm only really comfortable with one of these gun techniques, to be honest with you. Capturing the rod is where he's got the gun at you. You can't do the technique if he's over there. Get your hands up.
Get your hands up.
No problem. Hey, here's some money. Got a couple of girls over there you want to go out with. So what we do on this technique, as he says get your hands up, you're going to lift your hands, but as you do, that's what it looks like you're doing. You're lifting your hands up. Oh yeah, yes sir, I'll get my hands up. But as you come up, we're going to come over. Now you'll notice that my hand came up and parried out, and this hand reached over and grabbed, but it grabs here where the hammer is. Most people want to grab here. Well, what'd you do, Hans? He'd shoot me, wouldn't he? So what I do is I grab the hammer portion, and then I cradle it past, and I'm going to poke to the eyes. And as I come back, let's go around this way, Hans. So I get my hands up, I got the gun here so it doesn't get away, poke him in the eyes. This creates a diversion, takes his hand, his thoughts away from here. That's what this is really for. And then I come back, and I'm going to peel the gun back, at this point, against his own hand. That way it comes out of there. I can start to shoot him at this point. But I take it away from him, okay? Then I front kick, and then I come up and hit him with the butt of the gun. Bam, okay? And that technique is nothing more than this. Block, poke, bring him around, front kick, hit him with the butt of the gun. It actually goes on from there. We do a bunch of other movements, but we're not going to worry about that. That's not in the form. Okay, that's capturing the rod.
It's a little bit different. I shoot the guy with his own.
There you go. Oh,
I go.
yeah.
Boom!
Yeah.
I have no fingerprints and all that on the gun. I just walk.
Yeah, here's another the other variation is where you do that, you come over, you turn his hand and make him shoot himself right in the face. But you got his finger right there, just go ahead and go, make him shoot himself. But the important thing to remember, though, is with the very first move, when you get your hands up, look where I've got that gun.
Yes.
Pointed away from me, and I'm controlling it so it doesn't point back. And then I create,
Right in the nose.
create a diversion, hit him in the nose, dig those boogers out of there, flick them at him. But that's the main thing. Get that hammer. Get that hammer cock. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
No, that's kind of gross for me, too. That was capturing the rod. Now let's do the next technique, which is broken rod. Now here's that one. Get over here, Hans, behind. No, that's a good spot. That's a good spot, because I'm going to rotate. Now what you want to do, okay, sir. What you want to do is get your mirror and make sure that's a gun, because what if he comes up behind you with the gun and goes, okay, give me all your money. You turn around and he shoots you, right? Okay. On this one, like I said, I'm not too impressed with the gun techniques, but we're going to go through them because they're in the form, and we have to learn the form. Okay. What we do is, remember I said, when we pivot, we're going to use the ball of the left foot and the heel of the right foot. It's the only place in the Kenpo system where we're going to do that. And the reason why is if you practice by yourself and just do it, you'll feel it actually pulls and turns you in that direction. So we're going to do that ball heel as we turn. And notice how I turn real quick to get a hold of the gun, and I want that gun shooting the bullet that way if it goes off. I'm going to step through and break the arm, hammer the groin. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to rotate and twist the gun out of his hand as I step forward into a forward bow. I'm going to take this gun, I'm going to hit him up in the face, and then I'm going to strike him in the heart with it. Okay? And that's what that movement is when you're turning.
That's a lot different.
Everything's different for Henry. Watch. 1, 2, 3, pull him. 1, 2, 3. Now you'll notice in the form, after we do the break, hammer, we go like this. This implies the pull of the gun away. 1, 2, okay? What were you going to show me, Henry?
Mine's coming here. I step out. need to break the arm.
Bad news, bad news. You're
Yeah.
stepping away from the weapon. See, because if you step out, if I'm here, and I got my gun on you, and you start to step out,
See now,
see,
bam.
it took you a while to get over there. See, I started to point the gun that way. I might have caught you in the shoulder with a bullet. But what we do is, the gun's a little higher on this one. Now, you wouldn't do that technique. You would come this way if the gun was low. You do a different technique. You don't do that one. The gun is up in the middle of the shoulder blade. The reason why is because, watch, did you push that gun on my back? I'm keeping constant contact with the gun at all times. The gun never leaves my back. See, the gun never leaves my back. Break, strike, pull, boom, boom.
Okay.
That's why you want to rotate and twist. It's an in-place twist so that you move faster also that way. Because if I take the time to step out here, oh my goodness, I might be in trouble because you know what? What am I doing when I step this way? I'm covering out. And what does covering do? It creates distance between you and your opponent. Now, if I do a side cover, I'm creating distance between you and me. I don't want to create distance. I want to be going right into you. Okay? Defying the Rod. This one's interesting. No, keep the gun. These are all gun techniques. What happens on this one is the guy says, get your hands up. He's got the gun pointed at my heart again. He says, get your hands up. And when I say, okay, I'm going to comply. But when I do, I'm going to come up this way. Okay? So when I do, I'm going to go poke. And now, notice how I hit his groin. Sorry about that. It wasn't too hard of a kick.
No.
But when you kick, you'll notice that it brings his head forward and he runs right into the spear finger. Strike down. Now notice, look how I have the gun though. I got it in my hand. I don't have the wrist. I have the hand where the hammer is. Poke and hit his bicep. And the reason why you hit it with a crane hand is because it pulls him into an elbow. I come back and I rip the gun out of his hand at this point. Okay? So as I come down here, what I'm going to do, we've been doing this for 3 hours and I'm going blank. We're going to come down here and we're going to hit him in the face with a gun and then hit him and hammer him here, okay? And then I just palm heel down. So the technique actually goes on. But let me show you how that's how that looks in the form, Hans. When you're like this. The guy says, get the hands up. You poke, crane hand, elbow. You peel the gun out of his hand. Hit him in the face with a gun. Then hammer down on him and knee. Set down and palm him away. Now that's how it looks in the form. But there's actually a little more to it in the real technique. But we're not going to get into that because I don't want you to get confused. I want you to do it like the form, okay? Twisted rod. Now this is the one technique I actually think is interesting, okay? That other technique would probably work, that last one, because if you just get your hands up and he is stupid enough to be close to you, you could just lay right into him real fast. That's a good quick move. This one here, are you rolling, Henry?
No,
stopped, okay. What happens is, he's got the gun here. What we're going to do is we do that, get the hands up thing. We're going to get him up again, but we're going to parry off this way. And as we do, I'm going to take and point the gun at him, and I could shoot him in the face, right? So I step off, I get the hands up, and notice, look how the hands are. I'm pushing the gun towards him. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to step and take him down over my knee. Boom, okay? Now, at this point, I could pull the gun out of his hand as I shovel kick through the ribs, stomp down, hit him with the gun. Hammer fist, kick him in the head and get out. But here's how it's done in the form. Help you up a little bit. Okay. He puts the gun, says get the hands up. I do. I step. I comply. I take him over here. Now let's say I don't get the gun at that point. So I keep my thumb pressed here as I shovel kick, stomp, and poke him in the eyes. Then pull the gun out and hit him 1, 2, and kick him in the head. Okay. And in the form, it's nothing more than just what we did here. We parried, grabbed. That's why there's extra steps in there, because in the form, we're having to do our transitional move and poke. Okay? And like I said, at the end of the form, you're going like this. Crane, palm, loop them both up, palm, peel them off of one another, elbow. That's the beginning techniques in glancing lance. So the ending of the form is actually the beginning of the form where the knife comes in. Just hold it out like that, watch. Here, loop it up. Loop it up. There it is. The crane hand, here, and there it is. 1, 2, just like that. Boom, 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 and peel off through your check. There, right there. There it is. That's the form, and those are the techniques. Thank you very much. He says, wait a minute, let me review first, guys. Don't start filming up. Get all my mistakes. Technique. All right.
Is it like that?
Yeah. For signature right, signature left. Up. Okay. Then from here, claw up. Forward bowl. Okay. You know, I forget the name of that one particular movement there. And those are thread through. Step back and do unfurling crane, okay? Step back. Peel it off. Slip it and go into flashing wing. Brush off and gathering clouds. Cross horse, gathering clouds again. Collapsing elbow. Circles of protection. Dance of darkness. Unwind. Poke. Thundering hammers. Claw. Twist at that point. Thundering hammers again. Roll it. Unwinding pendulum. Claw. Unwind. Reversing circles. Snaking talon. Gives us fanning. What is it, Henry's
Circling
fan?
fan.
What's that?
Circling fans, right?
Circling fans. 1, 2, kick, punch. Circling windmills. Okay, on this one here, cross, destructive cross, defensive cross.
Right.
Kick, punch. Hop switch. Okay, elbow, slam. Drag up, prance of the tiger. Sweep. Crossover, cat up, prance of the tiger again. Now as you set down at this point, land, shield, mace and shield.
Shield and mace.
Shield and mace. 1, 2, claw, chop, side kick, boom. Straight into here. Hammer, claw, chop, side kick. Now from this point, after you do your side kick, go into your horse. Step out and do a version of 7 swords. Chop, chop, okay? When we step over, poke, punch, chop, chop. Twirling wings. Hammer. Hammer. And notice if this hammer drops, bam, right into that kidney real hard. Brush it off. Crane. Hop. Crane. There.
Nice.
technique. Okay, stop for a second. Bam, bam. Turn. Bam, bam. Yeah, okay, because then we turn here. Now we're facing 6. Okay. Oh, you weren't filming that, were you? I was just kind of trying to remember. Oh my God, he was filming! You a traitor. All right, you ready, Hans? I'm going to show you how it looks from 6 o'clock. That'll be 12 o'clock. Now you're at 6 o'clock, so you can see the back movement. You do your thundering hammers. 1, 2, 3, back, hook, palm, claw, okay? Twist right here, okay? Step up and do thundering hammers again. 1, 2, 3, back, knuckle, hook, palm, claw. Now I want you to see the back side of this. We're going to step off and do unwinding pendulum. Block, block, check, sweep, claw. Block, block, check, sweep, claw. Notice how we're doing at those angles. Reversing circles, pom, 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 poms. Snaking talon. We do this set of movement 1, 2, front kick. 1, 2, front kick. Set down, kick, punch. Opposite side, block, block, kick, punch. Now from here we're going to do circling windmills. 1, hammer, hammer, hammer fist, hook, 1, 2, hammer, hook, 1, 2, flick, this is a flick, poke, thumbs, claw, and then go into this motion, pull, palm, front kick, boom, drop, bowing to Buddha, hop switch, bowing to Buddha, prance of the tiger, hammer sweep, back fist, step out, hammer sweep, back fist, shield and mace. All right.